Hello, everybody. I am so happy that you are here for the Countdown 2025. Oh my God, we're almost there. And today I am joined by Stacey Johnson. She is a clinical therapist and women's empowerment coach. She specializes in mindfulness and emotional freedom techniques. She helps high achieving women overcome anxiety, overthinking, and burnout, empowering them to make confident decisions, enhance well being, and thrive in both their personal and professional life. Oh my God, I just butchered both of those words. Stacey, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, as we go into the countdown 2025, and I can't wait for the people to go and experience your magic, I would like people to know you. And can you share a moment or experience that sparked your passion for what you do? And how does this passion translate into the work that you offer?
Yes. I have been a clinical therapist for 25 years, and most of my career I worked with children and adolescents. But throughout my years of working, I was that high achieving woman. And for many years, I had spent coming home from work being very stressed and burnout from the career I was in. And then my kids were always in activities. Like there was not a night that typically we didn't have something to do. And then I always said yes to things. So I was a cookie mom for Girl Scouts. I was, um, a youth, I taught, at my church for a youth group. I was always saying yes. And for some reason, I always thought that I had to say yes. Otherwise, I wasn't considered a good mom or a good mother or a good wife. So I was just extremely burnout and overwhelmed. And one evening, I yelled at like the kids were not cleaning up, or then my husband asked me what was for dinner. And I was irritable and I yelled, and he's like, "You're always angry." And I'm like, "I'm not always angry." So I kind of backed up some of my stuff and I looked at all the things that I had been involved with in my life in regards to trainings that I went to for my professional development courses. And I started to realize that I wasn't angry. I wasn't meeting the qualifications of anxiety. Really, I had some of the symptoms because I overthought. I would have a headache or a neck strain all the time. I was irritable. So it kind of pointed me in the direction that I was a high achieving woman that was burnout and overwhelmed and stressed. So I kind of put it all together, created my anti-anxiety blueprint, noticed a huge change. And then it was 3 years ago this November that my husband passed away suddenly. And
Sorry.
about a year after that, I had to take on an extra job. So I was working two jobs for the extra income. And I decided to use my clinical skills in teletherapy. And all the women that kept coming to me was what I was experiencing, this high achieving. They were complaining about being burnout, stressed, irritable. Some of them were using unhealthy coping skills. And that's when I decided that that's what I want to do. I want to help as many women as I possibly can to stop that cycle and then give them the ability to be more resilient so that their future self could handle life challenges. Because after my husband passed, I realized of course, I was grieving, but the stress of the new kind of life that I had with only one income, managing a household by myself, those things weren't stressing me out. I was not stressed like I used to be. And so I realized that I was more emotionally resilient. So I want to be able to help women have that, be able to be more resilient to handle life challenges in the future.
That's beautiful. So let's go into transformation. What is one key transformation or benefit that someone can expect from engaging with your work, apart from being resilient? Like how does this impact our life or goals?
Yeah. Besides being more resilient, just learning how to take care of themselves, not feeling guilty when they say, no, I don't have the time to do that. I wish I would have been able to do that long time ago and be like, no, I'm not going to be the cookie mom, or I'm not going to take on one more task. I was always saying yes because I did have that guilt. Like I overthought those things all the time. And so having, the ability to say no and love themselves for being able to say no, and just taking care of themselves, learning to take care of themselves. Women, especially, high achieving women that are working in the home or out of the home, stay at home moms, they're always putting themselves last, and so I want them to be able to know that it's okay to take care of themselves as well.
So now we got the Stacey permission slip to say no.
Yeah.
So if you could leave the audience with one piece of advice or insight that you found to be transformative, what would that be and why?
One piece of advice. To say no.
And you know what? To say no means saying yes, right? Saying yes to loving you, saying yes to having your back first, saying yes to so many things.
Right, right. Yeah, self-care. Self-care is so many people tell me when I start talking about self-care, they say, I don't have the time and I feel guilty if I'm taking care of myself first. And I remind them that one, self-care does not need to take hours at a time. It can be just a moment in the day when you're taking some deep breaths, doing gentle stretching, just becoming aware of that moment, being more mindful. And if we don't take care of ourselves in the end, then we're too tired and too exhausted to take care of other people as well.
Indeed. Stacey, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait for people to enjoy your magic. And before we leave, I would like to ask you one final question. What mindset or practice do you believe will help people thrive as they embrace the new year?
To stop overthinking, self-care, being more mindful of the moment. Yeah.
Well, those are beautiful things to learn. Thank you so much again for being here.